Oh, I can share my screen with my audience. It's wonderful. I know I could do that. Okay, this might make things a little bit more interesting, a little bit more fun. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Anyways, so welcome back, Vesa. And I don't know how else to really put this one to you, but I figured I'd try the live stream. I thank you all for your ongoing support and like, and it's been fun. It really has been. And I think I'll probably just hang out here for a little bit for some time before we actually get into. Oh, hey, would you look at that? We got a viewer. Hey, I'm not really big on the whole showing face thing. So the other day, like it was for a date, my girlfriend and I went out and bought a mask, and then she painted all over it. And if you guys can tell, like she got the little Tau symbol, uh, Tau symbol on it. So it's pretty cool. Some of the markings on the side and whatnot. We put the little breacher lenses and whatnot on because she figured, that'd be pretty cool. And yeah, so I figured that it'd be interesting. We got, the big one here, and then the two small ones here for you know, thanks. Appreciate it. Chasso Nearsight. Um, I have not pre-ordered the new Fruit box, mostly because I'm short on funds. So the fun thing about this is that I am a college student. So recently, though, instead of buying the new Fruit box, I had a friend of mine at the local game store. Instead of spending the $200 on the Fruit box, he offered me for $200 a Storm Surge, two Riptides, 10 Crisis Suits, three Pathfinder squads with rail rifles, and three Breacher squads, uh, two or three commander models, one being Enforcer and the other two being Cold Stars. And I was looking at all that, and I'm like, I am on my Melee Tau hype, and I do like the new Crute, the whole all that. But I was looking at that, I'm thinking like, I have never owned or seen a Storm Surge before, and two Riptides and all this other stuff. You know what? For $200, I'll take it. This is a steal. And when I told him that I was going to take it off his hands, he was like, "Oh my gosh, really?" And he offered $200, and he's like, "You're not going to haggle or anything?" I'm like, "Dude, to haggle with you for over $200 for that stuff, that would be a complete insult. I will not do that. I'll just take it at face value." And so yeah, I have not ordered the new Crew box, but I've been watching every single battle report that's come out for all of the new pure Crew armies that they have coming out. It's really impressive. Yeah, the Storm Surge alone, I think, is like let's see, it's like what, $200? I don't know. We could, heck, why don't we do this for fun? I can share my screen with you guys. I think entire screen. We'll do Chrome. Okay, audio, sure. Um, let's see. I don't select tab to view. Okay, this one. Select that one, I think. New tab. All right. We'll go to Games Workshop. Whatever the new online Games Workshop store is. Go here. All right. Come on now. Okay, so let's do this one. Share that. And alrighty. So search the store for a Storm Surge. All right. Yeah, so the Storm Surge is about $185 plus tax and shipping and whatnot. Anyway, so that's about $200. So I bought a Storm Surge, and with it, I got a two free Riptides, 10 free Crisis Suits, a handful of commanders, and then a bunch of infantry Tau of Breachers and all the other the Pathfinders and all the other goodness. So yeah, pretty insane. So yeah, it was very nice of him to do. I think he was just trying to clear out shop. So yeah, complete steal. It was that or the Crute box set. And on the college budget, it was 100% that. Like hands down, best deal. Anyways, my computer's gonna overheat, so I'll stop sharing for a bit. So yeah, have any of you guys pre-ordered it? Are you? Yeah. How about both? I wish. Maybe in the future, if that comes. So, what are you looking forward to most for the new recruit hunting pack box? Because like I'm looking at a lot of the points in the codex, and that's something that I've really been worried about. And like it just seems like everything's way more expensive. Like we definitely need a points reduction. Oh hey, howdy. So, anyways, I was looking at the crew detachment. Crew riders, I think, do 8 wounds each in melee on a 3+. Hey, nice. I just you want the Rampagers, dude. Me too. That is the whole reason why the crew hunting box is going to fly off the shelves because I played. So if any of you watched my video of the battle report against the Corn Demons, the opponent that I was playing had the I don't, oh gosh, what are they called? They're the guys that are riding these weird like bull like things with chainsaw horns, like weird rhino looking things. They are, anyways, when they get in on a 4 up, they do mortal wounds on the charge, and then their big guys do a lot of damage, and their jockeys, the little bloodletter demons, they do a lot of damage. And like that's kind of what it feels like they are. The our Crutox Rampagers, they're going to be something like that. Yes, the Blood Crushers. That's what that is. Thank you. Like our the Crutox Rampagers are going to be like Blood Crushers. So yeah, you're gonna play the crew detachment against infantry guard. Dang, that's gonna be nuts. It's probably actually gonna work out pretty well in your favor. This seems like the most positive interaction that the crew could have against any other unit because or any other detachment, not detachment, any other army because the guard are what got me into Tau. Oh gosh. Anyway, so the guard are like the best faction for the crew to eat because they're squishy enough, and the gunfire might actually be pretty good back and forth as a Tau player at 1K game. Nice. Anyway, so what got me into Tau? I guess. Good evening, nerds. Anyway, so what got me into Tau was so actually it's probably a little bit more broad. What got me into Warhammer is what got me into Tau because I remember I was a big Star Wars nerd. Like I love Star Wars. Uh, yes, big stompy robots. But it was mostly because I love Star Wars and the sci-fi setting there was awesome, and I wanted something that would be just at like I something that was a bit more entertaining, I suppose. I will not disclose my opinion on the new Star Wars movies. They've been less than desirable for new stuff. But anyways, I watched this guy. I think his name was like I think it's Eckhard Slatter, some YouTube guy in like high school, and he would do these things where it was like 4 different factions from different sci-fi universes, and it would be like who has the best like this kind of unit, like best foot soldier, best like leader, like space wizard esque thing, and he would typically do like Halo, Star Wars, Warhammer 40K, and on top of that, maybe like Star Trek or Starship Troopers. And I looked at that and I was like, oh my gosh, 40K wins every single one of these. What is 40K? And I watched his Tau versus the Covenant video. And upon watching that, I was like, oh my gosh, these Tau guys, they sound kind of cool. And they don't sound like too terribly overpowered. So I started digging in a little bit more. I started watching battle reports. Well, actually, Luton was my first way in because my goodness, that guy can do lore like no tomorrow. Very impressive. But after that, I started watching battle reports, and Play on Tabletop was the first guys that I watched. And I distinctly remember this battle. I watched it on repeat so many times. I didn't understand the rules to save my life, but it was Nick playing as Tau versus another Nick playing demons. And in it, I saw Nick pull off the Tau Nick pull off melee Tau with his crisis suits and winning the game by doing melee there. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is so cool. And his energy was just absolutely contagious. So I looked at it and I was like, okay, you know what? I am going to do that. The Gundams look great. I like the big stompy robots. The crisis suits, absolutely my favorite thing ever. And from there, I decided that I would try to do my darndest to make Melee Tau work and run a pure Crisis Suit list. Oh, I Team Shadow Sun or Team Farsight. To be completely honest, I don't know if you could tell, but the namesake of my channel might give you an indication of who I like better. Farsight, absolutely. There's a chance he is a little bit, chaos tainted, but uh, it's pretty dang cool. He has a nice Ronin feel. He feeds my desire for melee, so it's awesome. I really hope that we get the 8 potentially. Maybe not this edition, maybe next, but like they keep dropping hints about them in the stratagems. Like they reference Bright Sword, and they also have obviously Torch Star in one of the stratagems, the Torch Star Gambit. So it's a bit more. Oh, Team Darkstrider. You know what? That is a good team. I would have to say that Darkstrider fits in way closer to Farsight than anywhere else. Uh, for as far as Montcalm being up nice, close, and personal, and being a bit more daring. Channel plan slash roadmap. Oh, okay. Okay, so let's see. Plan slash roadmap for the channel. I'm thinking probably keep on cranking out videos, just like as far as looking at different data sheets and the like. I want really to get into battle reports because I remember when I first started out Tau, and I wanted to watch a bunch of Tau battle reports, and I just couldn't. There weren't any that were available for me. So what I want to do is like eventually make it so most likely over the summers get a lot of battle reports out and so that everyone can watch a bit more Tau battle reports. You guys can suggest different types of army lists you'd like me to see. You've noticed my past two have just been pure infantry. That's been the kick that I've been on recently. In the future, I will be doing like more crisis suit heavy builds because that's what I love. And since I just got the Storm Surge and the Riptides, we might have just a big like battle suit gunline kind of feel going on. So I really want to get into the battle reports. I keep on wanting to do the just general, like maybe even get in the lore a little bit, but just the general, like, oh, this is what we're good at with like here's our anti-tank, here's our anti-infantry, anti-elite. Just look at all the different fun things that come out and maybe come out with interesting little like, oh, hey, we can do this if we combine these two units together, and that's something kind of unorthodox, but it might be able to work. So that's kind of the plan long term. Just get way more in like I no offense to any of the other Tau content creators. I started with Implausible Nature. Wait, no, that's the Black Templar one. Invasive Wargaming. That is the Tau one. Um, Invasive Wargaming was where I started in, and I loved his content, but it just wasn't as consistent as I would have liked it to be. So I decided, like, look, I want to make Tau content for anyone new coming in and anyone that is already in that's a little bit starved for it. So I figured to just go all in on that. That being said, we do have two other guys that do Tau content semi consistently, and that's the Pure Tide program and oh gosh, there's an Australian guy, I believe. I forget what his name is though. Uh, but anyways, I've seen a lot of their stuff, and even there's that one Art of War guy. So, but there is way more competitive, and I kind of wanted something a bit more fluffy, a bit more fun. You're not really going to find them being like, "Oh yeah, we're going to do melee Tau for our tournament list, and this is going to crush everyone." No, that's not really how they roll. I don't think. So I figured it would be a bit fun to have a bit more of a fluffy Tau guy who, yes, Pantheon Studios. That's it. He's the other. He's the Australian one, I believe. To have a bit more fluffy Tau, a bit more fun, a little less cutthroat, and the like. I have a question. How is Shadow Sun alive? Does she take what Ethereal take? So Shadow Sun, I'm pretty sure for lore wise, she is put in stasis every single time in between battles and stuff. So she's just like freezed, and because of the short lifespan of the Tau. To be completely honest, she probably is on some form of steroids or something. Who knows? Like some special Tau super soldier serum. Would not be surprised whatsoever. But I think there's gonna have to be something that they're gonna have to put in lore wise for the Tau to make it so that like our characters live longer. Because I'm really sad that they got rid of. I'm seeing a lot of like long strike, just being sad that he's gone. And we need something that'll keep our characters around a little bit longer. Because I loved Anshi. I was gonna make a video. I had a video for why Anshi was actually a really good choice, and it was completely scrapped when the new codex came out, and he was just no more. Now on Va, I think they could still be a guy that's a model and around because he's a hologram, and I don't see like it would be par for the course for there to be some sort of like robot like on Va walking around. I wouldn't be surprised by that. So I don't know. They have to have some more creativity to keep our characters around because we just lost three of our named characters, just completely gone. That I'm pretty sure that's half of them. Like we only have Shadow Sun, Dark Strider, and Farsight. That's it. That is just we need to have more named characters back, or maybe they'll introduce someone new. I'm surprised they didn't give us like a named Kroot character. That actually leans me into why we don't have the Kroot. The Kroot probably will not become their own army anytime soon because they just don't have any named character, and every new army that comes out gets their own specific named character for that. I wish Tau would be given more love and lore. Yeah, me too. Me too. I wish they got way more love in the lore. I've been hungering for some more new Tau lore. I was kind of excited with the whole Arcs of Omen and Farsight going back to the one planet where he got the Dawnblade initially and getting tempted and then saying no. That was pretty cool. But then they killed Brightsword, which isn't even the original Brightsword, and like the 8 got beat up pretty bad. And it was just like, the 8 took an L, and Farsight had a vision that he resisted Corn, and that's it. We need something more. And, please save and post on your channel for later watching. Yeah, I thought like don't live streams automatically just like save to the channel? I could be wrong. I don't know. Played against Pure Tide program years ago. He's very good. Really? What did you play against him as? Edward Bailey? Like how? Like did you was it Tau versus Tau? Was it mirror match or was he running something else? Um, I like your channel so far. It gives me a place to talk about Tau Beyond, how effective they are on tabletop. Yes, that's kind of what I was going for. I really wanted some place that was instead of this is what's going to crush your opponent. Pure cyclic ion blasters all the time, just decimate everybody. Look at anything and it goes away. To be fair, you know, GW really fixed that one for us by just getting rid of cyclic ion blasters in general and only letting our commanders carry one. I just learned that today. I looked at the data sheet and I was like, what is this? Oh, we can only have one to a commander. Great. So max, we can only have 6 cyclic ion blasters in our army. But who's going to bring 3 cold stars and 3 enforcers? So yeah, why does Longstrike have to go? His model is amazing. I know. It's so sad. Maybe they'll give us a new Longstrike. I just wish they'd give us like a tank ace character, you know, just like tank commander, and you can only take one of them in an army. Like just because there's always got to be a tank commander kind of guy. Like I don't know, keep the Tau vehicles actually around a bit more. I know they're not everyone's favorites, but because the punchy battle suits look cooler, but it is what it is. Give Kais a model. Yes. Yes, like Primarch for Space Marine. I've actually been looking into that a little bit, and I've there's something I want to start because I like the hobby side of things a lot. I love kit bashing. That was one of my favorite things to do when I first got into it. It was always looking how I can make the most bang for my buck out of like mixing around how the guys look. That would be so cool. I wanted to do something actually where I would like do a lore segment video and then do a battle report video based off of the lore that I read about the Tau character that was in it. So it would be like, oh, Farsight doing a thing against the orcs, and then you translate that over, and we have Farsight, a battle report of Farsight fighting the orcs, and then some of the bloodletters pop out of nowhere just for kicks. I was thinking about doing that for the Kais character because I wanted to, you know, like figure out what his typical weapon loadout would be and how I could translate that into a character for the tabletop and maybe kit bash him. That would be pretty cool. I do not magnetize my suits. I just don't put my weapons on my suits. So my gaming community where I hang out at is pretty much like all the boys are really chill and rule of cool wins no matter what. And they were very nice to me when I first came in. And it was I just have my crisis suits all set up. I built them just like they were in the start collecting box with one guy with a burst cannon, the other one with the missile pod, shield generator, plasma rifle with arm pointing out. The other one had his 2 fusion blasters, and I was like, okay, so here's what it is. And the guys look at that, and I'm like, that is not optimized. And I was like, okay, darn. Could I just say they have like cyclic ion blasters, and the fusion guy has like 3 fusions instead of just the 2, and they were really cool about it. And ever since, I've just never glued any guns onto my guys because I'm just waiting to save up, get magnets, drill a hole in, pop the glue in so that I can magnetize all their weapons so they're way easier to get around when GW inevitably changes the points or changes up the rules and makes it so you can't have anything. I'm so happy I never purchased a cyclic ion blaster once during this entire time of being in Tau. My friends were just kind enough to be like, yeah, they have cyclics, cool. Let's see. There is actually an old named character with a model. Oh yeah. What's his name? I actually have him. It's like Dekal Grek. He was on I think like a Blackstone Fortress, and they have like a model of him from actually a Blackstone Fortress game they have. Oh, you used your guard and did 9550 to him. Oh shoot, that must have been rough. Wow, sounds really good. If I know if it's pretty obvious the Farsight enclaves are your favorite, but are there any other Sept worlds that interest you? Viorla, just Farsight enclaves, but good guy. Well, loyal to the Empire. I love Shi. Absolutely, one of my favorite characters. I like the close feel. After that, I haven't really gotten too much into any of the other Sept worlds. I hear Borkon's really good with big weapons. That's about it. I don't know. I just like the guys that get really up close and personal. Is there like a specific like dedicated like stealthy Sept? Because I'd be interested in that. That'd be pretty cool because I wanted to do like just a pure stealth, like I've talked about in that one stealth stealth suit video, not stealth suit, ghost heal video, where it's just like, all right, just get 3 ghost heals, max out the stealth suits, gets a bunch of pathfinders, and just have it like and Shadow Sun, obviously, maybe some Recruit sprinkled in there, and piranhas, and just have it be like really stealthy cadre. If there was a kind of Sep world like that, I'd be really interested in it. Um, oh, nice. Both ended going to the pub and laughing after. That's great. Um, he's a nice guy. That's good. Afternoon, my fellow comrades. Welcome. Uh, what should I do since my suits are magnetized, have 6-man squad with fusion, plasma, flamer, shield generator, and don't know what to do with them? Oh, shoot. Oh, gosh. This is what I. This is. I'm sorry. I'm going to tell you this right now, but you're probably gonna have to take them apart. It's gonna hurt. You're gonna want super glue on hand in the event that one of their flimsy arms breaks off when you're prying off that shield generator or the plasma rifle or whatever. So that's just gonna be rough. Eeh. And then you're probably gonna want to have to repaint them. That's the sad fact of the matter. I don't know because yeah, because none of those guns are able to be used on one suit. Maybe if you're nice and you don't do really tournaments that much, and you have a group of guys that you play games with that are pretty chill about the weapon loadouts, because that's one thing I noticed. Not only are the guys chill about the weapon loadouts, I could point at each one of my crisis suit weapons and they would have no idea what the heck they are, or what they actually do. So I usually people are pretty easygoing, and if they're not really hyper competitive, that'd be nice. Achievement Hunter. You could proxy if you want to play the game with them. So yeah, pretty much. Did Crisis Suits get the battle line keyword in the retaliation cadre, or are we limited to 3 units of one type? Having a full Crisis Suit army would be very interesting. Yes, so that is something I'm very hyped about. They are not the what's it called? They're not battle line, but that's fine because it's like any of you who know about Garter or anything, the Lehman Russ, you notice your opponent can bring like 15 of these. Well, it's a similar thing because they have now they're like Crisis Suit Sunforge, Crisis Suit Fire Knife. They are their own like different Lehman Russ battle tanks. Like the Lehman Russ has like a different gun turrets and stuff. So because of that, you can take 3 of each kind, which means in total you can have 9 squads, and the 9 squads will mean that you have 3 to squad gives you 27 crisis suits overall. Which is perfect because I remember when I first started out, I collected 27 crisis suits to specifically do crisis suit spam. But now this is going to be much different. It'll be nice because I'll be able to be more mobile, have different suits and squads splitting up and moving around. It'll be great. Um, let's see. Do you also collect another faction? Yes. So when I first got into it, I got the Indominus box set just to be like, all right, this is 2 pretty fairly sized armies, and it'd be pretty fun here to figure it out. So I technically do have Necrons, but my father was kind enough to play that against me because I wanted to be the Space Marines because I like being the good guys. But I painted my Space Marines to be the Black Templars. So my armies that I actively pursue making are the Tau and the Black Templars. If you hadn't noticed a theme, I hate witches. You can burn them at the stake. Tau don't have witches. Templars don't have witches. It's great. That being said, I love Templars. I'm a sucker for Crusade history, and that's really what got me into it. And the Eternal Crusade and just the righteous zeal and passion. It's great. I love them. It's so much fun. Who questioned? Wait. If magnetizing models intimidate people, I use sticky tack to stick my weapons to my crystal. Oh, hey, that's pretty cool. I never thought of that. Does it like peel up the paint at all using any of the sticky stuff? I'm just curious. I like the communistic vibe that the Tau give off. My favorite part of Tau is the way of life. Okay, so this is something interesting. I will see your communism, and I will raise you. I'm pretty sure like Hindu religious caste system. I like the caste system because it's not communism; it's a caste system. It's closer to like feudalism slash like weird the Hindu structure because you got like your religious elders like the ethereals on top, and then after that you got the fire warriors because they're the guys that they kill you if you don't follow in line. Then you've got the Earth caste, like the builders and the diplomats, et cetera, all the way down. But I don't really know how it's structured. But it gives me very much hardcore like Hindu caste system vibes, while simultaneously having like the Japanese Gundam feel. It's an interesting mix and match. I find it very entertaining. Also, recently I saw this YouTube short, and it was some like guardsman, like commissar or whatever, that talking to like some Tau ambassador, or maybe he was like a prisoner of war. I don't really remember. And the Tau guy was like, "Hey, look at my beautiful cities and like all these great things that we do, and like the standard of living is wonderful." And then the guy's like, "Oh, this is stupid. Like my guys will fight and die for me." And it's like, "Mine will too. Yeah, but I've got like a couple billion more. Like your ideology's stupid. Religion's better." It was just a really funny interaction. Um, Nadar Sept is a darker coalition who can use specialization. So, oh, that's cool. Not ours. Didn't even know that existed. Nice. Uh, just take the unit as a Legends proxy. Yeah, Legends proxy as well. You could do that if your friends are nice enough for your crisis suits not having the optimal loadout. What do you think about the new Kroot Rampagers? Hidden OP, I think with Beast, they look pretty good. I have to say the Kroot Rampagers are probably going to be most likely a tournament staple. I know we don't really talk competitive, but these guys are going to give the Tau something that we have never had before, which is actual melee punchback capacity. The only issue is they're going to be very much glass cannons, so they're going to be amazing in their own detachment, but in every other detachment, they're going to be pretty good light infantry bulliers. My only issue is their base size. I think that they should have had a smaller base size, or the Krutok should have a bigger base size. It just doesn't make sense that they're the same size. Um, so I think the mortal wounds on a charge are going to be pretty dang good. I don't think they're necessarily hidden OP. I think it's going to be pretty obvious because every Tau guy that it's not hidden. Everyone will know. They'll look across the table. They probably won't attack them because they'll be more worried about the big Gundam robots. So I don't really know there. But yeah, I'd say it's pretty obvious that they're really good. Don't mind losing everyone sidedly, as your opponent's very nice. You learn something new to become a better player. Well, joy. What are your thoughts on the Town R so far in 10th edition? Okay. I don't own a Town R. I don't really know what thoughts to have on a Town R. I think it looks cool. I do think that it suffers from something the Storm Surge also suffers from. And what's with the mask? Okay, so the mask is I don't want to show my face, and because privacy reasons. And so my girlfriend and I decided that like for a date we go out pick out a mask, and she's very artistic, so she decided to paint it all up. These dots here are for like the breacher little lenses thing, so I figured that'd be fun. And she also like got up close and showed like little Tau markings and even this little the symbol. So she just freehanded that. So for fun, I got a little Tau mask going on because I'm not so keen on blasting myself all over the interwebs. If anyone knows what AI is doing these days, I'm a Vespid. Yes, I'm a Vespid. I have to hide my little tweezer, little venom things on my face. I'm hideously deformed, guys. You have no idea. I can't have you all seeing it. You'll turn to stone through your screen. Yes, mandibles. That's it. Yes. Well, um. Anyways, where was I? Town R intent. Yeah, I don't know. It suffers from the same thing that the Storm Surge does because the Storm Surge has a lot of variety of weapons, which is good to shoot into a lot of different things. But the fact of the matter is, guiding limits you to one thing. So it will not be as effective as it could be, which is pretty sad. I think that the concept of it, having our own big Titan out there and being able to just like point at 50 different things and just unload and wreak havoc would be great. But it's just like the guiding system that we have really hinders us. And in a way, I think it's a blessing in disguise because of what they did with the crisis suits, making it so that they're specialized specifically to one type of unit that they'll be attacking. But on that same note, like the crisis suits got a very big boost, but everything else really took a hit because of the issue with mixing and matching different weapons. What are your thoughts on the new matches played by the YouTubers with uh, where 1 win, 9 losses so far with the current points? Really, we've lost 9. Like all the Tau, like the new Tau army, like with all our fun little stuff, like we've lost 9 times and only won once. What? Wait, no, that can't be right. Okay, wait. Okay, that makes sense because the Kroot detachment would lose. 100%. Like, I love the Crew, don't get me wrong, but the way that they're running the Crew detachment, it's gonna lose. But, like, I thought, like, Tabletop Titans didn't like the Battlesuit, Retaliation cadre completely wiped the floor with the Orcs. I thought that's what happened. I know Tau Nick on PlayOn, like, just today or yesterday, I don't know. He recently lost to World Eaters, which is kind of a bummer, but really? We're losing all of them with our new detachments? You're kidding me. Uh, would, use an all-flamer cadre. You know what? I've been thinking about that all-flamer, thinking Yavara, all the Crisis Suits with flamers. That'd be tons of fun. Overwatch threats everywhere. Not to mention 3 Yavaras. That sounds pretty dang good. And then the Battlesuit cadre, the Retaliation cadre as well, that would be absolutely amazing. The battle over the planet Taros made me fall in love with Tau. Is there any lore battles that stick with you? Yes, yes. Actually, recently, actually, it's been quite a while since I listened to Taros, I guess. But over my winter break, I listened to the Battle of Taros, and that was fascinating. I really enjoyed it, and it really made me feel for how every other Tau commander must feel when they use pulse rifles to try to kill power armor guys. Not that effective. So after that, I would have to say Battle of Taros was great. I love the Damocles Gulf Crusade. It was kind of like it was mid the entire way until Farsight dropped in. I was like, oh my gosh, it's so cool. Like, oh, I just out of nowhere, the Red Renegade shows up. Beautiful. But after that, there was this one, and it was like some Viorla little short story thing where Farsight like is contacted by one of his like old friends or teachers or companions or whatever in this museum, and some space marine in stasis just goes around and start like wreaking havoc and killing all of these like Tau students and stuff going through the museum, and one of them has to like pilot a battle suit to try to kill the space marine captain or whatever that's going through, and it's like, hey, like generations ago, like the battle was over, like why are you trying to kill us? And like, I just hate aliens. So that was pretty entertaining, but also like pretty cool. I like that story a lot. That one definitely. um and where am I from? All right, so I don't know if any of you could notice, but I speak English and I have an English accent, English as in an American accent, not a Briton. So I am from the States. And because of the time zone that I sent you, I am from the Midwest. So I do not live on either of the coasts. I stand in the very smack dab center of the middle of nowhere, about 3 miles from the middle of nowhere, actually. So I will not be disclosing exactly where I live, but maybe if I get really big and I don't know, I'd be down to like get games with some of the subs. That'd be pretty fun, or any of the YouTube members. That'd be cool. Like have you on the channel, play a Tau game, and again, one of us would have to not be Tau in order to actually make it interesting instead of just perpetual mirror matchups. Um, Most of the losses we have were super close games, unless it was crude. Yeah, yeah, precisely. 1 a.m. Sunday here. Oh wow! Well, welcome wherever the heck you're from. 1 a.m. It's Sunday. I can't believe that you're hanging out here. Well, thank you for coming. It's great. Currently out here, I'll have to say it is 6:38. So, dang. Well, welcome from far out. According to Stats Tower, 52% win rate. Yeah, that sounds about right. Is that competitive or just in general? Like, is it tournaments? Oh, actually, I don't think anyone in the local hobby store is logging any of their wins or not. What are your thoughts on the internal grenade racks enhancement? Is it worth bringing over the deep strike enhancement for the retaliation cadre? Okay. Okay. The grenades one, ah, it seems like spreading mortal wounds on anybody sounds really nice, but I don't know. I don't really know what the deep strike enhancement that you're talking about is for the retaliation cadre. Which deep strike enhancement is that? Let's see. Um, Oh, that's the one where you can just put them back in strategic reserves, isn't it? I put the one that gives you more mobility because the grenade racks one, as far as like we're fast, but like flying over units to do mortal wounds, I don't really know. I'd say that I'd stick with the one where you can jump around pretty easily, even though it's nice to throw mortal wounds around a bit. That was before the patch. Crew basically close by 1 point, but 1-1 so far with Retaliation Cadre. All Mont Ka has lost that I've seen. Kayun today by Tabletop Titans just lost 2. Wow. We have dipped to 49% win rate. Oh, that's rough. That surprises me. Like, how I don't get how we're losing because like Haiyun isn't like our ideal kind of strategy, sitting back and trying to gun down and then maybe come back in the back half of the game. It's not our normal thing. So I figured that having Montcalm would scare people to keep him back and like our lethality would be greater, but that's crazy. I can't believe that we're losing. Would you use breachers with devilfish transports as a capture team? Okay, so I've got a small issue. I don't own any devilfish, so I use my hammerheads as devilfish. That being said, well, I take the turret off, obviously. I've thought about it, but I look at a lot of the breaches and stuff, and they can advance, so they're pretty fast on their own. If you take the Montcalm detachment, they can get the 6 inches of scouting, so they're pretty fast that way. They're really cheap, and for the price of a devilfish, I can get another unit that hits on 3 plus. It rerolls all wounds against opponents on objectives. I like just taking my breachers bare bones. Typically, they're really good that way. That being said, recently with the stratagem that we can take for the Montcalm detachment, I think that it would be very good to have a transport with them because my opponents will not get on the objectives early on in the game for fear of the breachers completely decimating them off like within the first couple turns. So recently they've been getting like being like half an inch off, and they'll just walk onto it and take out my breachers that just got on the objective. So I think that it would be very good to have transport these days because you can unload them, spend the CP, and you get to reroll all wounds against the unit, even though they're not on an objective, just because you got out of the transport. So highly recommend. Played a game yesterday with Retaliation Cadre with Farsight and 3 Sunforge with 2 CP, 3-inch Deep Strike, and put out 32 damage into a Vindicator. Big fan of them so far. Dang, that's crazy. That's awesome. Oh, 11:38 in the UK here. Whew. Well, welcome from the UK. We're happy to have you. Goodness. Maybe I should have these earlier in the day so not everyone's like staying up till 1 a.m. or midnight in order to watch. Same time zone here. Shout out to the rest of the St. Louis listeners. Nice. I love St. Louis. Great city. Will not say whether I live close or not. I do have family out there, though. To be fair, in America, you got family in just about every city. Um, who do you have the most fun playing against with Tau? I enjoy matchups against Guard and Tyranids. So it's funny you say that. I've never played Guard and I've never played Tyranids. My pool of people that I play is fairly small. I have a lot of Demons players in the area that I play at. I've got a lot of Space Marine players. Pick your poison. Also Chaos Space Marine players. Again, pick your poison. And then after that, Admech. I've been having a grudge match, perpetual, swinging back and forth with an Admech player. Oh my goodness. I remember once he came up with this crazy thing. He had like a 20-man Skatari brick, and they were literally throwing power swords. It was like strength 5, AP minus 3, uh, like ridiculous amount of range, just decimating all of my infantry. It was horrible, and they like ignored 1 and 2 armor penetration. Whew, it was really bad. Otherwise, my favorite, my cousin that plays orcs. Though that's always a fun game because I try to get into melee with him, which he wants, and he also tries out shooting me with my gun line. So it's always pretty good. Also, him and his blood aims. So I have to say, I like power armor. Power armor is always fun. I find because it's difficult to like get through with, but it gives a nice. It feels a bit more even, I should say. And they also have the capacity for melee, but they also can shoot pretty well too. So it's I don't know. I like the balance that the Space Marines play. It feels like if you can take them on, you can take anybody on. So uh, then again, I've just got them at stories. Okay, grenade enhancement is perfect to use with Cold Star. Yes, as far as being speedy, it can do D6 mortals, and then you use grenade strat for another D6 mortals. Fire weapons, then fly over and do it again. Wait, you can do. Oh, wait. So if you do the jump, shoot, jump, you can fly back over them and mortal them again. I didn't think of that. I didn't know that could happen. That's awesome. Just completely. You wouldn't even have to shoot at them. Just jump back and forth and drop D6 mortals every single time. That sounds great. Um, we'll let's see. Um, both tempting. Um, are we the new Whipping Boys in the edition? What do you mean new Wiping Boys or Whipping Boys? Oh, Whipping Boys in the edition. Uh, for a little bit, we will probably get beat up on a little bit. To be fair, as far as I know, everyone loves dissing on Tau. I don't know. Is it like at least on the internet, everyone loves dissing on him. Even in my local community, Um, Everyone loves being like, "Oh, tower's stupid," while simultaneously, I don't know, they like playing against me. Not saying I'm an amazing person or anything, or they might just be really nice guys. But it's tons of fun because I always bring something new or different. It's like, oh, is it going to be all battle suits this time? Or are you going to try to melee me? Yeah, come on, melee me. So I don't know. Um, good people, good people. Could even use tank shock for more mortal wounds if you have the CP. Oh my gosh, you know what? That might be a video. It might be how to get the most mortal wounds out of a single commander, and just try to calculate how many mortal wounds you can get out of it all. Like, you know what? Wait, are you the one? I do not know. You have the what's it called? What's it called? The the white scar thing, the white scar symbol. What didn't you say you were like your time zone was like 1 a.m.? Oh my gosh. You know what? If we get big enough and I get enough members, we will be able to pay for a ticket for you to come all the way to the Americas, and we can play a game just for kicks. So, that could be something fun. I don't know. Um, I'm a sucker for. Oh, actually, recently. So the reason I got into this partially was I love Morning Glory. So for someone I would love to play a game against, I saw his videos, and he's always very entertaining, great personality, tons of fun. Also, minor inspiration for why I have the mask, the helmet thing, because he always has his little commissar hat thing going on when he does the live streams. Uh, I find him very entertaining, and I found that I looked at guard and I was like, Tau are just like a better version of guard. Our foot soldiers are better armored, have better guns. Like all of our weapons are just way better than them. We're a shooting army. They're a shooting army, but they have Bulgrin. But now our Rampagers are going to be like better Bulgrin. Besides the point. So I remember like he got Tau out of nowhere and he ran them like Imperial Guard, and then I got inspired to like expand my range out of just the battle suits into more of the vehicles and stuff. So I was really impressed by that. And then, oh yeah, yes sir, no joke. I'm not even kidding. If we could do that, that'd be great. You come down to the game store where I'm at. If the world doesn't take me to make money somewhere else, because that's how life is. You got to move to where the money is. It's sad. Um, yes, guard have psychers. Yeah, I know. We have ethereals, guard have psychers. Anyways, the point is, he was always very entertaining, and he's obsessed with pure infantry guard. As you can see, it's his thing, and he takes him to tournaments and whatnot. So my thought was, aha! So I started spamming the guy in the comment section, and I was like, dude, like not every single episode, every single new video that he came out for like a month, I was like, hey, do pure infantry Tau. I was like, hey, if there's a new army you want me to run, yes, pure infantry Tau. I remember once I was like the first comment, and I got a bunch of up likes, and I was like, hey, this guy, he's asking, like, I got a bunch of upvotes for him to do it, and then I got like a message, not from him, but it was like one of the guys that have little badges and stuff. uh, yes, mind control is better than Psychers. Um, and it was like, hey, look, maybe in the future, if you get your own YouTube channel, do your own Tau stuff, and then get a bunch of subscribers and get a big following, and like make your own infantry Tau, because let's be real, this guy has like his huge shot pile of shame. He's not going to build a bunch of them. Then you know what? Maybe you can come out and you can play a game against Mordian. And I'm like, really? That'd be cool. So I started the channel, and I was like, you know what? Screw it. We're gonna do infantry Tau better than he can do it. Than he can do his infantry guard. So that's the end game. The end game is I'm calling out Mordian Glory. I want to not necessarily get on his channel for the views or anything. Just mostly I just want to play a game against the guy because he sounds very entertaining, and simultaneously uh, be able to like do an mass infantry versus mass infantry battle. It'll be great. And I've got a big plan on how we're going to be able to do mass infantry in the near future. I was talking for spending CP on Overwatch with Fire Warriors. Yeah, now they got the new rules. It kind of really hurts what my plan was, because if I had gotten big enough in order to play him, I was like, oh my gosh, I could like wipe down like a 20-man guardsman squad with my Fire Warriors on one objective. He like brings them in. It doesn't matter they have reinforcements. I'm going to cut that thing in half. Instead, -1 to hit. It's not the worst, but it is what it is. Yeah, Overwatch is now worthless unless you have Crisis Flamers and the Yavara. The Yavara is very good for Overwatch capacities. Um, it's a place for the Dark Angels. Admech could be countered by Hammerheads. Yeah, that I bought Hammerhead specifically to beat his tanks, because everything else was kind of bouncing. What was your favorite looking model in the Tau range? Ooh. Favorite looking model in the Tau range. Farsight. He just looks so good. Like properly proportioned. He's got the Dawnblade. Like I'm just a sucker for melee. He And even his little like helmet that he has now, the interesting little visor and like the double antenna thing. I love it. Looks great. After that, I think Darkstrider's really good. I love the Art of War guy's little samurai helmet that he put on Darkstrider. I think it looks amazing. Besides the point, but like it looks sick. So if that were in the tower range, it'd be nice if we had a couple more like little samurai looking like helmets and stuff. Um, no psychers. Mind control better than psychers any day. Yeah, yeah. It's better if you can just like walk into the room, have your pheromones go out, and be like, "You will all just listen to me." Just literally genetically enhanced charisma. It's just like it's just inherent to them. If you were to add a Tau Psyker unit, what would it be? Okay, okay. So we got a couple options. We could go lore, or we could just make something up completely. If we were to go lore, I believe that the Tau have these like this alien race that helps them out a little bit, and they are these like space bear floating thingies, and they're actually psychers. So, or maybe I'm thinking of these weird psychic worms that can like read people's minds and interrogate. I don't really know. One of those two, which would be kind of cool. I don't really know what they do on the tabletop, which is why I'm leaning against that. If we made something up completely, melee Tau, baby, we would have we would have a psychic Tau unit. It would either be I'm thinking like Guavesa maybe, or like our own take on like the assassins, like the null ones that nullify your ability like to perceive them and whatnot, and like give you a headache if they're in the room because they're it's like psychic abilities. I'm not thinking like a blank. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of them. It's weird. Anyways, they got some weird psychic thing that screws with you. I'm thinking we could do a Tau version of that. Like they've been messing with the mind science, and this guy is in like a like cyborg esque stealth suit sort of thing. He's got an honor blade because, well, you got to get close to use your mind bullets, and he can just smite all around. That's what I do. I'm thinking like some ethereal that pilots a battle suit sort of thing, like on Shi but cooler. Yeah. I don't know. Just random thought. Average guard player just spams veteran heavy weapons teams and shock troops. Yeah. Our response, like our version of that, is the Pathfinders. Those are heavy weapon teams and shock troops. I would have to say the strikes and the breachers. Strikes are good for protecting your breachers. That's kind of what I've been using them for these days. Breachers are more like your Kasserkin or even your Scions because they hit on threes, and their weapons are better than their hotshot las guns. So, Tau are just better guardsmen. That's all there is to it. Wouldn't add a Tau Psyker. It takes away from them personally. Yeah, that's fair. I can't disagree because their whole thing is naivete to the psychic world. Then again, I think if there were to be a Tau Psyker, it would like if it were to fit in lore wise, it would probably be with Farsight because he's like doesn't trust the ethereals. He's got his weird honor blade thing going on. So there would be that. Then again, the Tau do align themselves with obviously humanity. So if there are any Guavesa that were psychers and like were like the Primera psyker guys, you know what I'm thinking, like those guys that the guard have, then they would be under the Tau jurisdiction. So I think that maybe they would have something like that. I don't know. That would probably be most lore accurate. Um, remember Pure Tide program saying how Crisis can do 18 mortals on fours with two strats and an enhancement. Are you serious? Wow, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. I need to start digging through this codex a little bit more, find all the different combinations that you can link together for amazing Tau damage. Flamer Crisis Suit unit can demolish a unit of 20 guard easily. Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Especially with the new like enhancements that we have, like the just extra AP, and if it's in the like what's it called, the retaliation cadre. I can't believe I keep butchering that name. Just all the AP ices, absolutely everything. Even before the new codex. Yeah, true, true, true. Just dropped into here to say hi. Hey, Lucas Hart, my first subscriber. Welcome, sir. It's good to see you. Well, or like see you on the screen, I suppose. I hope you're doing well. This is the guy that started it all. I don't want to say blame. I credit him with my success. I really appreciate you being here. If you have any questions or have anything you want to say in particular, you get priority because you're the first sub. What can I say, guys? I play favorites. Psychic Bears with many legs. Is that what those things are in the lore? The psychic bears with many legs, like the weird like floating things that the Tau have. Actually, unit Battlefleet Gothic. Oh wait, so they're a real thing in Battlefleet Gothic. Oh, that's pretty cool. The Colexus Assassin. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, yeah, yeah. actually kit bashing Tau Assassins right now. Oh, cool. Definitely drop that in the Discord. That would be awesome to see there. For those of you who don't know, there's a Discord. I know the link goes down periodically. Let me know. Drop a comment. I will update the link to make so that people can join in and you can share all the cool kit bashes that you do, all the paint jobs. If you have any cool battles that you've done, you take pictures of it, share it there, tell your stories and stuff. I am not always the most active. I've got homework that I have to do, so I'm sorry. I'll try to be more active later on. But anyways, I digress. But yes, that's really cool. You're kid bashing Tau Assassins. I wonder what they look like. You gotta go now. Sorry, I can't stay. Well, thank you. I'm honored by your appearance, Lucas. I really appreciate it. You have a wonderful rest of your day, night, or whatever the time zone is where you're at. I want Tau Fusion Blades and more Fire Warrior variant weapons. Yeah, any units or weapons you would like to see. Okay, so here's the thing. When I first joined in, the Fusion Blades were amazing. I made my commander. I made my commander with Fusion Blades, all Fusion Blasters, and oh, thanks, man. Yeah, good one. With all Fusion Blasters, because I don't know how delayed it is. I wonder how much delayed I am interacting with the chat. Anyways, besides the point. So, because like it's our actual melee punch, we needed that. Now that's gone and dead. Very disappointing. So, oh, thanks. Cool. I'm hyped to see him later tonight. That'll be great. Anyways, so definitely Fusion Blades need to come back. The Honor Gauntlet needs to come back. I don't really think we need the Thermoneutronic Projector to come back. The one that's like the little flamer that you can shoot in melee combat. Those would be fun though. But for the battle suits, I think that the Gauntlet and the Blades should come back. As far as for the Fire Warrior teams, the weapons. Okay, here's the issue. Because I would want variety of weapons, but if we give them variety of weapons, we're going to want to split fire with their variety of weapons, which is not conducive to guiding. So I don't really know what to say there. So, the Honor Gauntlet is back along with a few other things, but only the Crusade selection of the Codex. Bring it back to in general. It would be wonderful. Where might you join the Discord at? So Discord, you can join at if you go to my channel, there are some links in like the home area, and there's one for my Patreon, and under that one there should be one for Discord. You should click on that link, and it'll send you over to Discord. Let me know right now if it is actually available, because if it is not, I will in real time go over and fix that so that you can access the Discord. Also, they don't walk; they float like Avatar Aang's Mount. Oh, that's hilarious! We just have a bunch of appas. Is that what I'm hearing? Like the Psychic Tau unit is a bunch of appas, psychic appas. That's hilarious. Space Bears. Oh my gosh! Isn't there a guy who does that? Space Bears. I don't know. I think his name's Jess or something. Anyways, I digress. Besides the point, in the video game version of Battlefleet Gothic, one Askar de Hal must be part of your fleet. Oh, hey. And they have the voice of old man physically speaking to you. That's hilarious. Yeah, nice. That's pretty cool. I don't really know as much as far as like the Tau fleet goes, but I do have to say that it would be pretty cool to have, I don't know, one psychic unit. To be fair, the psychic phase is long dead and gone. So I don't think it's as big of a deal because everyone I remember like in the past editions, it was like, aha, Tau can't do melee, Tau can't do melee. But the real kick in the pants for the Tau was like, we can't do psychic phase either. We can't even deny opponents' psychic abilities. Like, okay, story time. A long time ago when I was in high school. Actually, maybe that wasn't so long ago. Still a couple years. What happened was I just gotten my 27 crisis suits. I'd like budgeted out and I purchased the final bit and I was like, all right, here we go. We're gonna throw all these crisis suits in a pure crisis suit spam list. And a new guy showed up at the store. And this guy had Grey Knights. And at this point in time in 9th edition, the Tau Codex hadn't dropped yet. So we were using our 8th edition Codex into Grey Knights with our 9th edition Codex. And if any of you know how good Grey Knights are, whew, they pack a punch. And at this point in time, with Psychic Phase, they can Mortal Wound bomb like no tomorrow. So what I did was I went up against this guy who apparently does tournaments and competitive stuff, unbeknownst to me, little young high school me. And I remember putting up all my guys, and I was like, "All right, we got this. We can take him." I had my fusion commander with a bunch of flamer crisis suits, their armor penetration thing up, advanced targeting system, and I had my crisis suit bomb ready with their cyclics and their fusions, deep strike in and take out any of his guys in the back line. And my missile pods hanging out on my home objective. The guy teleported one of his dread knights like this far, like 3 inches, I think, away from my home deployment zone and one of my objectives that I was holding to get close to my crisis suits with flamers. And the crisis suits with flamers turned on him and torched him to the ground. I don't know how, because I was literally having to roll sixes in order to wound this guy. It's crazy, wonderful. So I've got my 9-man brick. We march up the center. My fusion commander is leading them all the way, and the Grey Knights, like Grandmaster, is standing there. And I'm like, okay, I shoot my 2 fusion shots, hit them both. He makes one, fails one, and then I roll the wound and I don't kill him. I'm like, all right, shoot, I have to kill him. I better re-roll because I was like, yeah, 5 wounds or whatever. It's like 1 in 3 chance, and he wasn't gonna die. So he's like, look, dude, if you re-roll, it's gonna be less than what it was. And I was like, you're right, but I have to go for it. Go for it. It was less than what it was. I shouldn't have re-rolled. And the next turn, the guy literally stuck his hand out, unlimited power. Emperor Palpatine just exploded like 8 of my suits were just gone, and my commander was just standing there waiting to be charged. It was so bad. Gosh, in that moment, I wish that we had a deny psychic attack thing tacked in there. But the thing was, so I forgot there was a CP I could have popped that would have given all my guys a 5-up fuel pain, the stim injectors. So that was really stupid on my part because I had CP to spare. But c'est la vie, it is what it is. Anyways, if you could formulate and personally pilot a battle suit in real life, ooh, what would your loadout and style of fighting be? Okay, in real life, a real life crisis suit. Oh, battle suit. Okay, well, I guess we all know what I'm choosing. Crisis suits. I'm a sucker for them. It, my dad called it when I first saw the crisis suits. Like, look, you got a bunch of Hulk busters running around, and I'm like, yes, yes, but better. I would probably, hmm, okay, crisis suit with iridium armor because I need a better save. Uh, what would the loadout be? The iridium armor. I give myself a shield gen so I can be tankier, and then I would probably have 2 fusion blasters, making the fusion blades because I'm a sucker for that. Like I've been saying the whole time, and thinking probably a flamer because you need to get rid of chaff, and that's one of the most effective ways to get rid of chaff. And in real life, I don't really know what I'd do with it. I'd probably get hunted down by the government because they'd want my tech and they'd want to change it into something. But yeah, if in real life, if I were like a Tau commander, I would probably have fusions, 1 flamer, just get rid of anything that gets up too close and personal, and I have my blades to chop through anybody else, and the shield gen because we need the extra tankiness. Because in the grim darkness of the far flung future, uh, I don't have to deal with half the stuff that's out there. And the shield gen gives me a 50-50 shot of not having to. There are 2 fleets, merchant and battle fleets. You need shirts eventually with the word "I digress." Okay, yes. I noticed that within the first couple, like, if you don't record yourself or edit yourself talking, or have people around you that will like comment on what you're speaking, like you've known all your life, you don't really know what you say. Starting this channel, I've realized how much I say, but I digress. Um, I got a good friend of mine, and I was talking with his. I've hit the age. It's kind of weird where you're like friends with your friends' parents. It's a fascinating time. It's really the time. So yeah, I think we're gonna have to have a T-shirt. We'll make merch. It'll be great. But the T-shirt is gonna be like a crisis suit, like jumping backwards with like the jets firing him away, and maybe him shooting his blasters, and underneath it's going to say "But I digress." So, he's like digressing from the battlefield. That'd be pretty funny. If y'all want that, I'm sure we could try. We could make some shirts or something, design them up. That'd be hilarious. But yeah, maybe, who knows? If we get enough subscribers, we can open up a merch store. That'd be great. I'm not really in it for the money, just maintaining and just building the community, having fun. It'd be great. But if you guys want it, I will provide whatever the people want. Merchant fleets have huge amounts of fighter escorts and torpedoes and have weapons placed on both sides. However, they are slow and not well armored. Battle fleet is more armored and faster, but all its weapons are forward facing. Ah, gotcha. Tau cruisers and battleships can carry smaller escorts via gravity hooks. Gravity hooks. Oh, that's pretty cool. Like I said, not really too much in the naval stuff, but hey, you learn something new every day. That's pretty cool. It ain't bad, pal. It's a motto. Possible beanie. Wait, do you think I should wear a beanie? Is my hair that much of a mess? Or like I should make like towel beanies? I'm more of a ball cap guy myself. I don't know if you believe it or not. To be fair, beanies would probably be good for winter. Maybe we do like a Christmas special, the Tao beanie of but I digress on the beanie and like on the ball cap. We could have the but I digress. Actually, so big shout out to one of the guys in the Discord. Oh wait, when you play Tau, do you play more reserved, more aggressive despite Canyon detachment? Okay, despite the Canyon detachment, I play really aggressive. Well, as aggressive as I can afford to play because I'll play my Tau the exact same because for the longest time, when all of the new uh, special rules for detachments and stuff and army rules were coming out, I would always uh, like just be very aggressive. And at one point in time, I completely neglected Markalites. Like when I first got my pure crisis suit army out, I just did not bother with shooting Markalites anywhere. I was like, all right, we have a 4-up ballistic skill. We're going to suffer from that. We're just going to go for it. So I always play fairly aggressive. Recently, with my infantry Tau, I am forced to play more reserved because I just can't afford to throw my guys out there because our infantry is way more expensive than other people's and of how hard they can punch up against others. So even despite the Cayenne detachment, I would make a point to get out there and hit people pretty hard, and it was just a nice extra buff that would come turn 3. I noticed I just play my Tau normally, to me normally, and then I would just take whatever extra special buffs in stride when they came in the game. So good job, support. Love the Tau. Have a place with you. Yes, the Tau place with you. I'm more than happy to be the Tau place. What's your favorite sci-fi series other than Warhammer? Okay. So other sci-fi series other than Warhammer. Oh wait, okay, I'll get this right after the other one. Why I ask is that a lot of YouTubers always play reserved and no crew two, which are perfect for screening and blocking. Yes, precisely. I win fairly often due to them, so I can't wait for the crew. Yes, absolutely. If you watch any of my other one of my battle report videos, like the crew are the first wave, and that's always the plan. It's like, all right, it's a trading game for us, trading on objectives, and you push your crew up, they hold, they scout out, and then when they find eventually die, you move up with your strike teams and your breachers. The strike teams used to be there to sit there and overwatch anyone that came in range, and the breachers would be there to clear, just kill anybody on the objective because of just how lethal they were. So I always say that like you need a certain amount of screening, and then you have screeners for your screeners, and the breachers are the most valuable. So you have and then the fire warriors and then the crew. So you got the crew up there, and they'll screen for your strike team, and your strike team they'll screen for your breachers. So it's just like levels of it. And then the very back, you got your pathfinders hanging out with their rail rifles to pick off anybody from a far distance. So yeah, no, I always like the aggressive approach, and I do think we need guys that can interact in the midboard earlier on than normal. Okay, back to what. So sci-fi series. Okay, so my favorite sci-fi series other than Warhammer. Like I said, I'm a sucker for Star Wars. I love it. It's very very entertaining. But recently, I've been a little bit on a Dune kick, mostly because the new movie came out, and also just the lore is absolutely fascinating. Like I've gosh, you're going on a complete geek run. I need to go to sleep. Greetings from Germany. Oh, keep this channel up. It's fire. Oh, well, welcome from Germany. I didn't know we had people from Germany. Yeah, well, wonderful rest of your night, sir. I don't know if you stayed tuned or not, but or if you already left. But it was great having you. Anyway, so other sci-fi series. I'm sorry, I'm a little scatterbrained. So what I found is Dune is to sci-fi series what the what Lord of the Rings is to fantasy series, if that makes sense. So for Dune, you have like the basic building blocks for every other sci-fi afterwards. Because you think like as technology progresses and the like, everything becomes more advanced. Thanks. I tried to be great. It's whew, where was I? As more as it advances, the technology would be longer range guns, like literally the Tau. You would think that in the future of every sci-fi series, it would be, oh, we've got longer range guns, we've got better shielding. It's going to be just shooting each other from miles away across this huge intergalactic thing. But no, in Dune, man has progressed technologically in such a way that their shielding actually makes it more important for you to be good at hand-to-hand combat. And I really like that aspect. It's very much the building block, which is exactly why the Jedi in Star Wars with their heightened reflexes and their like super force abilities, they use a melee weapon because somehow we've hit a point in progression, either evolutionarily or just like sci-fi technology wise, that it is more effective that you use melee combat than you do long range shooting combat, which I know is crazy coming from a Tau guy. But it really just becomes like a feudalism in the stars, which is exactly what 40K is. It's exactly what even like Star Wars is. Like Dune very much has that. You've got the different houses, different warring. You've got the God Emperor of mankind. It's all a lot of like man has evolved and progressed to a point to like where they're different, like kind of like evolutionary dead ends that the crew have, but much more intelligent, I suppose. Like one of the guys in Dune is literally a human calculator. He looked at like a thing that happened, like a journey that was made by the Emperor's people to say, "Hey, you get the planet of Arrakis." And I was like, "Oh, it cost them like a couple $1,000,000 just being able to calculate it." They have a doctor that literally just presses on his skin and knows everything that there's no going on inside of his body. So it's very like I like how it gives an expansion and an evolution not just to man needing a reliance on technology, but to beyond that, where there's a fully like more well-formed man that is capable and competent that doesn't need to rely on technology. And if you look in Dune's lore at all, you'll find that they have a lot of uh, like they had their war with the machines, like the Men of Iron issue that 40K does. But it's a lot of same, a lot of parallels. You got different houses, like you got different chapters of Space Marines. They're like your different monastic orders. That's why they have fortress monasteries, and it's like space medievalism, like the medieval times in space with great houses and honor and war and crusades. It's just very like, and even in Dune, they've got the jihad that they must like conquer all the stars and in the name of the Mahdi, Paul Atreides. It's very very entertaining. So uh, it gives me a bit of like Warhammer seems very much like Christian medievalism in the stars. Dune gives me like Muslim medievalism in the stars. If that makes sense. This is like a gross oversimplification. So like if anyone's either of those religions, I'm not like trying to be offensive or anything. It's just like the words that are used in one and the words that are used in other are very like parallel to the kind of styles of uh like the genres that they have. So I love Dune. To say the very least, I love Dune. It's very entertaining. Demiurge, so squat ships can be used by Tau fleets. Oh, that's cool. I wish we had wish we could ally ourselves with the Votan. That'd be nice. Immune to asteroid fields and use charge up huge mining laser and melt entire ships. Oh, that's pretty cool. Mini nuke if someone shoots laser. I love the sci-fi universe of Infinity, anime soldiers and mechs. Right up my alley. Cool miniatures too. Infinity. What is Infinity? Is that an anime? Is that what you're saying it is? Yeah. It sounds interesting, like the anime, not anime, the big mechs sound awesome for as an avid Tau player and enjoyer, for mutated human and navigator. Yeah, the more mutated human is the navigator, Dune, due to huge amounts of consumption of spice. Yes, yes, yes. So it's like similar to our navigators being like extra like psychic and stuff. The Dune navigators, they have to consume an amount of spice, which will make them like have a prescience. They can see into the future and navigate the ships through whatever the chaos of space is. Which I like they like, and I know we say Dune, not Dune. I know we say 40K. It steals from a lot of other genres and stuff, and it's very on the nose about it. But yeah, I think you have to steal from Dune to some extent because it's very much the building block of all sci-fi, and it's very cool, very entertaining. Warhammer is very Dune and very Elric of Mel Melibine. I don't know. Infinity is another miniature war game with an anime aesthetic, awesome looking models, and a cool story set in an alternate universe. Oh, that's cool. I might have to look into that later. I'm painting Eldar Rangers at the moment. Uh, I love the dynamic between Tau and Eldar. I don't really know what that dynamic is because I think the Tau look at the Eldar, other than not the Dark Eldar, just the normal Eldar, and it's like, hey, you guys are kind of cool. I like you. And then like, why don't we be friends? And the Eldar look at them and they're like, you guys are so like behind the times and technology and lame. Like, get away, gross. It's like the little brother kind of thing because they both have like the Japanese like aesthetic, so to speak, because like they got the back banners and whatnot, and they like very high tech and like very like family honor code. Whereas like the Tau have their caste system and stuff, but they both are like one's looking at the other and is like, oh, you're cool, we can hang out, and the other one's like, you are such a lesser version of me. I can't stand the sight of you. Eldar see the Tau as who they used to be and see them as naive as they used to be. Ah, okay, that makes sense. So it's like resenting like the naivety of them and being like, "Oh, like you are so gross. That is what we once were, so optimistic and young and beautiful." And I can't stand that. They're just like the jaded older sibling. That is hilarious. The same dynamic with everybody else. Eldar always thinks they are superior. Yeah, yeah, yeah. A little bit of superiority complex. The Eldar do be like that. Jerks they are, but I do have to admit, I look at the Eldar and I see what they can do in game, and some days I think like I wish, like our Tau could do that. I literally took Wraith blades, like the swords that the Wraith constructs use, and put them on my crisis suits. So I'm like, hey, this looks kind of Tau like. This is pretty cool. Like I wish we could actually hit in combat like they do. Anyways, besides the point, it's a love hatred relationship. A hate relationship between the Eldar and Tau. Yes, I think the Tau love the Eldar, and the Eldar love to hate the Tau. In the new, Harkonnen orders his fellow soldiers to not use shields due to fear of triggering a nuclear explosion if a shot at with a laser. But Fremen use bullets instead. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, that's something very interesting about the shield technology. I don't think they elaborate enough on in the movies. But also, the Fremen just straight up don't have any shields. That's why guns are used so frequently against them because they don't have shields like all the other races or houses. I should suppose I should say. We need Tal Eldar auxiliaries that could be our sectors. Yes, I would be so down for that. I've been looking at the Eldar ranges and I'm like, hmm. So if any of you have seen any like my army video and what I did there with a lot of my proxies and a lot of my kit bashes, I love taking other armies, guys that look cool, and incorporating them into my army and then using them as certain units for mine. So I've been looking at Eldar and I'm thinking, you guys could totally be Tau. Like, you totally could join the team and insert one of the units here. If not an official gameplay, it would be pretty fun if it was just, a narrative game that you're playing with your friends or whatever. So yeah, yeah. Well, the Eldar are superior, less superior. Yes, the Eldar are superior. We know the Eldar are superior. They are one of the oldest races, and they also just do all the things perfectly, except like creating Slaanesh. We'll never blame them for that. It's almost like their biggest mess up. If they didn't do that, I'd say they're superior in every way, except they're degenerates. Besides the point. Towards the end of Dune, they basically make their own webway. Oh, really? They no longer need spice for navigators. I knew they didn't need spice for navigators. Then for Eldar, Dark Eldar worked with Tal until they made paint engines with them. Yeah, I noticed that in the lore. It was like, oh hey, like the Dark Eldar, and we're like fighting a battle with them. Hey, that kind of looks like one of the Jimmy, one of our ambassadors, to go see their culture and stuff. Really just big, huge hulking thing. That's crazy. So yeah, they're very happy about the cultural exchange. A little too happy. Yeah, you could take pretty much any other faction and use their model range as proxies or auxiliaries. Yeah, that is very true. Very true. I did it with the Volgren. That was like my pride and joy. Volgren, Crutox. The base size was right. They were bigger and chunkier. They had big shields. They even gave them like a Tau burst, stealth burst cannon gun. And then they made the base change. They made their bases bigger. 50 millimeters, really? For the Rampagers, was that necessary? I don't think so, Games Workshop. I don't think so. They're supposed to be younger. They're not supposed to be on the same base size as the big Crutox, the big hulking, like parent one. Come on, give me a break. Whatever it is, what it is. Eldar have the highest win rate. They are actually protagonists. Yeah, for losing really hard in the lore and not being able to replenish enough of their people, that's pretty dang true. They are protagonists. I think they have bigger plot armor than the Ultramarines. Eldar, wait, no. Would love to see a video on how to beat Eldar. You know what? I think I'll have to make that one. I did a Know Thy Foe Orc one. I think we'll have to do a Know Thy Foe Eldar. Tiny issue. Only one guy at the game store that I go to plays Eldar. I'll have to talk to him and be like, all right, man, what's like the easiest way to beat you? I think most of it involves Lots of shooting, if I had to guess. I don't know. That seems our solution to most things. I beat Eldar quite often. Really? My brother plays them, and he hasn't won in some time. Interesting. I'm impressed, man. Yeah. Yeah, the Dark Eldar lore is pretty dang nasty. Also making a Tau Ogren lady right now. Tau Ogren lady right now. What are you going to proxy them as? I'm very interested in that. No way, that's all it takes to beat on. Yeah, it is. I know it's just a bigger gun. That's all it ever takes to win. We just need more shooting. That's a solution. More shooting. Always more shooting. Okay, but seriously, like, what's the Tau Ogren lady right now that you're making? I'm very interested in that. Like, I've never seen a female Ogren model ever, so this is gonna be pretty interesting. Eldar expect uh, aspects have superior accuracy when compared to Fire Wars. Yeah, yeah, it doesn't surprise me in the slightest. One thing I've been wondering as far as like the lore of Fire Warriors is like we've apparently like they've got bad eyesight, but the goggles that they put on their helmet makes them see better or something. I don't know. Seems a little odd to me, um, which might explain why they're bad. She is going to be the flamer for my crew Storm Surge. Oh, that's cool. Dang. Fire wait, I have to see that later tonight in Discord. Fire Wars are equivalent to the Imperial Guard elite. Yeah, yeah, but we don't shoot as good as them, do we? Except the breachers. I think that that makes sense why they hit on threes though, because well, you know, like they're up close and personal. Depth perception is weird at longer distances. Yeah, that makes sense. Which is weird because our entire army, like our longer distances, like that's all we do. Our whole thing is like we outrange our opponents and we just blast them from really far away. So it would make sense that I don't know, maybe they just understand war in a more nuanced way than a lot of the modern Imperium does with having to get up close and personal. I don't know. To be fair, is it just me or this edition? Like, it seems like melee armies are the way to go. I know everyone complains about shooting armies and says they're not. Says they're not fun to play against, but could just be me. To have slower reaction times and screw looking and the screw looking thing on their weaponry is actually a stabilizer that eliminates all kickback from firing their weapons. Oh, we outrange most factions of Eldar Necrons. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I haven't heard talk of Necrons recently as far as being a competitive or good choice these days. So I don't know. I I heard they used to be like really good as far as just like sitting on primary to like and bringing people back. Well, I'm fascinated as Eldar is always bad, like not bad, always good. Like they're always the bad guys, like the big boogeyman to beat. I remember like in ninth edition, even this isn't Eldar, it was Drukhari, but like there was this meme. I don't know if any of you guys watch South Park. For reasons of vulgarity and disgusting things I cannot necessarily promote. Um, but there's this scene of Randy Marsh who's like got his arms up and like he's gonna try to fight somebody. He's like, I didn't hear no bell. It's like Dark Eldar after getting nerfed for like the umpteenth time. So I didn't hear no bell. I'm coming back again. So true. Yeah, that's Eldar this edition. They've been nerfed and nerfed and nerfed, and yet they still refuse to lose. They haven't heard a bell. They haven't heard a bell yet. Necron scarabs can explode and be revived. What? Only just to explode again. That is nutty. That is hilarious. I love that. It's so funny. Oh my gosh. Explode to be revived and then explode again. I wonder if they can be revived after that one. Yeah, melee armies are no joke at the moment. One of my favorite plays, World Eater, friends plays World Eaters, and I recently played Adeptus Custodes against him. Nice. I was quite it was quite crazy since both of us wanted to be to get into melee first. Yeah, that's always the race. It's a who can get into melee before the other person. Like you got to set up the charge to get the distance right. That's why I liked Tau for the longest time because everyone was really urging to get into melee with me, but they never wanted me. Like they never expected me to countercharge, which is actually what happened in my first game. I had a friend of mine playing World Leaders and just ran up way close and personal, failed his charges, thank goodness. And then I moved up with all my guys and I sent my fusion commander in and just cut them to ribbons. It was great. Scarabs equals healing minefields. Yeah, it's so true. So true. If you can blow them up and bring them back. Um, we share the Necron pain for not having Psyker. Yeah, yeah, but they can reanimate. That was one thing I've always wondered. Why don't we have any healing abilities for Tau? Like I would have figured that like everyone else, they got like tech priests or tech marines or like the Iron Here Forge guy. I think the Iron Here champion. Some Forge guy for the Votan that can just fix things on the fly. They're technically technologically advanced like us. Like why don't we have, like, I don't know, some sort of healing? Yes, we have stim injectors, but the six-up fuel pain is a little bit different than like, hey, I'm going to repair this vehicle. And again, the Tau don't really seem like the kind of people that would have like actively uh, rebuilding their vehicles in the moment of battle. So I don't know. What's the last Tau model unit you bought, and what will be your next purchase? Okay, all right. So the last one I bought, if you were not here at the beginning, the last model I bought was a package deal. This is why I did not buy the Crute. It was a package deal of a Storm Surge, two Riptides, three Commanders, one Broadside. Two of them were Cold Star, one's an Enforcer, 10 Crisis Suits, uh, three Breacher squads, three Pathfinder squads, and a Strike Team, I believe. So the last thing that I bought was a big, like, one of my friends at the game store was trying to clear out all of his Tau that he had. I was like, hey, for 200 bucks, I'm selling this. I'm like, cool, I'll take it right now. And he's like, oh, really? I'm like, yeah, that is quite the steal. Screw the new Crew Hunting pack box. I had never seen a Storm Surge in my life. I love more Riptides, and I'm a sucker for Crisis Suits. So let's go. And yeah, and that was the last thing I bought. Most likely, the next thing I will buy will most likely be the Crew Rampagers because those guys look sick, and I want some good melee. That or more Crew Infantry because I've got a whole big idea for a Crew Infantry Tau list that we could try out, and I'm really happy to share it with you guys in the future. Um, I would love to see Crew running it down and healing as much as Invasion Fleet Termagants. You know what? That's what I'm hyped about. That's why I actually really like the. Okay, I suppose it's getting pushed in this direction. I'm going to answer all the things I see right now, and then I'm going to get into why the the Crute detachment is going to be the infantry spam detachment. Because people complain more Tau stuff. Yeah, that's true. Or Tau Earthcast into battle or something. You know, that would be pretty cool. Having the Earthcast in battle, like something like the engineers from Halo, could be a Tau admech. Yeah, that'd be pretty fun. You know, look high tech and just be like, wait, what can I see? It could use Riptides against Admech. Yes, yes, I will be. I will be bringing the biggest guns against my Admech friend. It'll be great. I'm surprised we don't have a fifth detachment for armored vehicles. Yeah, I was kind of wondering about that. Our Devilfish didn't get any love. Neither did our Hammerheads or Skyrays, and the Hammerheads got negative love because Long Strike's gone, so they don't even get a buff anymore from him. The Storm Surge, yeah, I learned the other, yeah, today or yesterday that the Storm Surge isn't a battle suit. Apparently, it's glorified artillery. It looks like a battle suit. Then again, it doesn't have arms and it has an open cockpit. So, there's other issues. But wow, you learned something new. I looked in the keyword and sure enough, doesn't have it. Yeah, Razor Shark, Sun Shark. No flyers, which is something really key if you look at any of the lore or read any of the books. Like like air supremacy is really big for the Tau and their ability to beat up enemies from range. Would be meant like kept Long Strike. Yeah, it could be healed. Nope. We didn't even get long strike, so we didn't get any special vehicle things. Just bought my Storm Surge to counter my wife's Magnus. Oh, that is awesome. Storm Surge versus Magnus. Wish your wife the best in painting those wings. That sounds like a pain. I looked at it, I've seen it, and they're huge, and I don't know how anyone could do that. I'm not sure if it's worth it yet. Very, very expensive in points. Yeah, we'll have to see. Storm Surge seems like something that would actually be good in Cayuna because getting extra shots from their huge cannon seems like it'd be great. I bought two Crute boxes. Can't wait for them to come next week. Oh, dude, that's hype. That's great. You can literally just field like a mini little Crute army automatically already. That is awesome. Yeah. Flyers would be a strong bit. I feel. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Most no one takes flyers. Yeah, that's true. They seem to be like pretty nerfed this edition. Last edition, I remember there were a couple factions or like people using flyers very very frequently because apparently like if flyers good they're broken, that's the issue. Like if you're bringing flyers, then people are going to be spamming it and then they're going to have to get nerfed into oblivion. That's kind of how it feels with flyers for me. Storm Surge equals good artillery with legs. Yep, yeah, legs and rockets, that's so true. Does wife help paint your models? Me, my we're not married yet. It's the game plan. It's a hope. And yes, she does. Actually, if I wasn't so far away from my dorm room right now, I would go and run and get Dark Strider because she is currently painting him up. She also painted the mask, if you didn't know. So I could not do this. If you look really closely, like you can see that she did the the Tau symbol freehand, just completely freehand, and did the little markings and stuff. She knows absolutely nothing. Like this woman, wonderful lady, she sat through 6 hours of me pointing on a whiteboard and explaining, so this is the Primarchs, and here's the lore here. And I didn't even get to the Tau stuff, and she sat through it all. She took notes. She's got a document filled with pages and pages of it. Uh, I love her to death. You'll see her in the comments sometimes. She'll comment and like be like, "I love you" or "Good job" and whatnot. So very sweet of her. Wonderful person, phenomenal artist. So yeah, she does help paint my model sometimes. She actually wants to do a kit bash thing with one of my melee guys because she recently found on Instagram like people doing really impressive artistic things with melee characters, and she's all like, "All right, we got it. Like, I want to get this melee character and like get his sword all done up really cool, and then drench it in blood." And then I'm like, "Oh my gosh, you're way into this, and I'm more into this than I am. That's amazing." Um, yes, I literally did the Imperial Dump meme. That was me. Uh, yeah. So mixed with that, like she keeps sending me these memes, just referencing how I talked to her about it, and it was like, so all right. So Horus is okay. So we have to explain who Horus is. So Horus is the son of the Emperor. Okay, we're gonna have to explain who the Emperor is. She'll send me memes like that and stuff. Anyways, besides the point. Love Storm Surge, close combat wings, dry brush make for an amazing effect, and it is easy to do. I have to get into that. My cousin does way more painting than I do. If you any of you saw his one breacher video he did for me, fun. I used my Sunshark bombers fairly often. If I go second, use stealth suits through rapid ingress, and they fly off them off and do a bomb run. Oh, nice! I don't know if like you could do that with flying units or not. I don't really touch them too much. I don't own them. Obviously, I can't really touch them, but that's pretty cool. And keep it on for Caillou. Nice. I have so many issues with the new Montka. Yes, one of them being it's very disappointing. Requires infantry to trade a marker light drone or guardian drone to make use of the assault keyword on infantry. Oh, wait, I thought we naturally had marker lights on the infantry. I thought that we all already did. Wait, did she actually do? Yeah, more dumping. Yes. Having lethal hits is pretty meh as someone who loves broadsides and railguns with dev wounds. Yeah, it doesn't really help anything that's dev wounds. It's pretty disappointing. In Numonka, you will need to have a gun drone for units to assault. You can give a unit assault if they can't shoot because you move advance. So you do take one gun drone from Monka. Really? Is that how that works? Well, I'm never touching that. Not with a 50-foot pole. Sheesh. Wait, you're kidding me. I thought like your guys advanced, and then if they're guided, they get the assault keyword. Really? Oh my gosh. You see, uh, you see, there was this emperor who is a god, but not a god, and yeah, that was literally. I described him to her, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, he sounds hot," and I'm like, "Yeah, but he's a douche." She's like, "Ah, shoot, he sounds horrible now." He's like bad with kids and a horrible dad. Not all infantry. We have marker lights, but the marker light drone allows for advancing and spotting. Oh, okay, gotcha. And infantry can take two drones. Anyways, so you take a single marker and one other. Okay. Unit can only be guided if they're eligible to shoot. Oh, which means sacrificing for a gun. Ah. Oh, it all makes sense now. That. Oh no. You have also means you need to take marker drones to observe for another unit if it is. Oh goodness, that's horrible. Oh, that is so horrible. Wow. Um. So I'm never touching Montka ever. So yeah, and no guardian drone, which really ups the durability of all of our infantry, except Pathfinders, you can't take it. Uh, at least you can drop a missile drone if you stand still. Nice. Gosh. Oh yeah, you know what? The losing ratio all makes sense now. Oh, that makes so much sense now. Okay, I'm never touching Mont Ka. There's just no reason to. There's absolutely no reason to ever use that. Oh, okay. Well, the retaliation cadre is the better Monka anyways. Yeah, yeah, the retaliation cadre is definitely the way to go this edition, 100%. Anyways, so after all this, we've caught up on the comments. I'm going to explain to you guys why we're going to have Pure Infantry Tau be the new thing and how it's going to happen. And then I'll make a video about it for the people that don't come to the live stream and watch it. So, Pure Infantry Tau is going to be big. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be perfect. And it's going to come through is actually much better. Yeah. Cayenne is probably much better than these. I didn't think it was possible. You can make Cayenne better than Montcalm, but besides the point. So, it's going to be perfect. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be great. We're going to use the Kroot detachment. And for every good Horde army, every good Horde list that has ever used and been conceived, you need to have this one thing. And that is the ability to bring back your units to perpetuate the never-ending Horde. And that is where the Kroot step in. 20-man squad of Kroot, 2 CP, bring them back. Like, if any of you have watched Morning Glory, the guy does it all the time with his big bricks of infantry guard. Except our Kroot are better than the guard because we have stealth. And in this detachment, at range, we'll have a 5-up invuln, and even farther, and in close combat, we'll have a 6-up invuln. So we'll always have a save no matter what. Well, armies know the discipline of the Fire Warriors. The Hunter Cadre moves swiftly. Yes. So what we're going to do is we're going to utilize the battle line nature. So Kroot Breachers, your opinion? Yes, that is my point. That is the point of the pure infantry, because we'll have the Kroot that are very good at screening out just mass in bulk numbers. You can shove up onto objectives, be very difficult to deal with. You even give them characters who can feel no pains on top of their invulns, so they'll be somewhat tanky. And you just need bodies to sit on the points with them, and you can bring them back. It's perfect. And then breachers to back them up. You have like 6 units of breachers, and they're clearing off objectives left and right. And then you'll have Shadowsun hang out because she's also infantry, and she can give reroll ones aura to everybody in the area. And it's just gonna, and she's lone op, so she can help with a little anti-tank. And then you'll have your Pathfinders for more anti-tank with the rail rifles and the like. So I'm looking at it all, and I'm thinking we just need to have like not anyone who's interested in the mass infantry. It's going to be Kroot pushing forward, and your opponent will have to deal with the Kroot and will have to kill the Kroot no matter what, because they're chaff and they're going to get all gummed up in the works, and they're going to sit on these objectives, and they're going to have to deal with them. But when they kill them, you just pop the 2 CP and they're right back. And then you're going to have to deal with another 20-man squad, -1 to hit, 5-up invuln, and, well, they won't have to feel no pain because the character will probably be dead by then. But the point is, like, that's insane. That's really big. With just the never-ending Kroot waves. And sure, like, if a smart opponent will start just clearing away your breachers because have to, but let's be real, a 10-man squad isn't too difficult to hide. They've got advance, so they're easy to jump from cover to cover. And with a Kroot screen in front of them, the melee guys would be very hard-pressed to actually get up and touch them. Will you be fielding Shadowsun to recycle CP? Yeah, for the revives. Yeah, absolutely. Shadowsun is a must-take. I find in a lot of my lists, just giving the reroll ones aura very good. Then again, you don't really need her for a lot of the crisis suits because the stealth suits, when guiding, give the reroll ones to hit and wound, which is great. I'm going to focus on using the Kroot detachment. Both Montcalm and Cayenne focus on 3 turns, hitting on 6s. Good strats, enhanced. Yeah, Kroot will help with objectives for Tau. Yeah, 100%. Like, we need. That's why I like the retaliation cadre so much and the Kroot detachment, because it's something that just sticks with us the entire game, and we don't have to wait 3 turns for it to kick in, or only get it 3 turns and just like pray to God we killed enough before the game ends. Yeah, Green Breachers work pretty well for full infantry. I'm using Montka since lethals give you damage against vehicles. Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a very fair point. I'm mainly harping on the Kroot detachment because it makes it so that you can take the Kroot as battle line and you get the recycle the Kroot ability. So there is that. But yeah, no, you're right. As far as mass infantry being able to actually damage vehicles and hurt them, lethal hits is definitely going to come in handy. Warshapers can revive, for free once per battle round, or for free if they are alive and the unit dies. Ah, very cool. I didn't know that. I feel as though it'd be very situational because they're cleaving through all of your Kroot. They're most likely going to kill your Shaper as well. I don't know. But yeah, that's awesome. That'd be great. I'm gonna try to fix with long range with Montcalm, but I feel like I'm going to default to cadre. Yeah, the retaliation cadre is most likely going to be the way that it's going to be going. Yeah. So self replenishing Kroot, wipe out Kroot. be on objective. Breachers wipe out enemy unit on the objective. Crew come back and take it back. Rinse and repeat. Yeah, that's going to be the entire thing. Like we as Tau are in this new edition. We're going to be playing. If it's not the retaliation cadre and obliterating our opponents, we're going to be playing a heavy trade game. It's going to be back and forth, back and forth. Like you have the objective, now I have the objective. Rinse and repeat professionally. What about Vespids? Vespids phenomenal for secondaries. Get engaged on all fronts, drop them in different plays, deploy teleport homers. Wonderful. I also like that their guns are just straight up marine killers. Assault 2, AP 2, 2 damage. Like, that is beautiful. It's great. And they also got a points cut recently. So awesome. Really good unit. I always bring at least one or two. Star Scythe ability is full reroll hit rolls against starting strength. Against starting strength. Kroot get the extra hit and wound against units below starting strength and below half strength combo. Oh, so that would actually work really well together. Yeah. So like you could balance off the different data sheets abilities and actually put them in a Kroot attachment and they'd be fairly useful. I assume you'll be bringing Pathfinder's throw rifles for anti-tank. Yeah. I will be bringing Pathfinder's throw rifles. They're my entire anti-tank. They've been my anti-tank for the past couple games I've played since I haven't brought any battle suits. It'll be nice in the near future to feel a Storm Surge or something to have a real anti-tank. And yes, we need new Vespids. I got these old metal Vespids from a friend of mine who played Tau. Well, he doesn't play them as much anymore. He's in Dark Angels and his Eldar these days. So yeah, we definitely need a new Vespid. I hear rumors, Valrak, any of you guys who know him, he's been talking about rumors of new Vespid coming, new Vespid models and a kill team, and I'm really excited for that. If that comes to fruition, that'd be wonderful. So, yeah, maybe new weapons potentially, and like a Vespid character or like the Strain Leader getting something extra and special. Really down for that. That'd be awesome. Now to rematch with your cousin's infantry army and settle your last battle. Yes. That would be wonderful. Just be like, all right, you know what? We did Mass Blood Angels and infantry versus Mass Tower infantry. We're coming back again. This time we're using the Kroot detachment, and we're going to see who really can win this one. When I first got into 40K, I really had a dream of running Tau with frontline, backline army, keeping high damage range in the back and something like Kroot just eating shots, controlling the game. Yeah. Of course, until now, Kroot were almost pointless, it feels like. Yeah, I feel you there. Not to mention, like, this new detachment really ups their durability. They're also, like stealth is nice, but the invuln on top is even better, and the sticky objectives is gonna be great. So, we have an issue as Tau of, like, getting onto objectives and not being actually able to hold them, or, like, we might get gunned off of them or charged off them and the like. But if we have Kroot that have sticky objectives that hold an objective at the end of the turn, and your opponent walks up and guns them off, but they're not within range of the marker, that's still ours. So pretty dang good. And I definitely see it be utilized in the future. If they come out with a Vespid kill team, I'm absolutely getting it and getting fully into kill team. Yeah, that you and me both. I've looked at kill team every now and then. My father, when we first started, when I first got into 40K, he's like, "Is there not a faster game that we can play? Like, we can use these guys. Like, there's got to be a faster, like, quicker way to play this war game that you have." My goodness, like, not to mention like learning on the rules and like. So he found kill team and he got the kill team with the Farstalkers and the Navy breachers. And well, the Navy breachers became breachers for my army, and Farstalkers are Farstalkers. So, which is like a much faster game for playing. But my personal take on a faster Warhammer game is one-page rules. I know we love Tau out here, and we're not going to stand for any nonsense of a rip-off Tau of some other game. But one-page rules, very easy to learn, very quick paced. But I digress. I will not be showing for another Games Workshop. Notice me. I'm kidding. I play a Pathfinder kill team and a couple others, but I love my Pathies. Yeah, I do have to say that the Pathfinder kill team that recently came out looks sick. We finally figured out how to become masters of combat when we stole the Imperium's greatest tool, the tactical rock. That pose of that Pathfinder with his rail rifle up and standing on the tactical rock boldly. It looks great. I love it. Wonderful model, and not to mention all the other like fun little bits and bobs that you can put on the entire squad. My first 40K box was a Kill Team starter set with Tau and Space Marines. I tried playing actual 40K with just those 2 units. Oh my gosh, needless to say, I was very confused. Yeah, not having the entire not having those 2 units would be a little bit difficult to play the game. It would be very quickly over. It's like, "All right, we got a gun line here, we got a gun line here, but this gun line's good at being in melee, so we're gonna slowly have them boom, 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 and then hit your gun line." That was actually how I started out playing with my cousin. Uh, this is a different cousin than the one that I've been playing battle reports against, but he has orcs. He had orcs, and it was literally me putting my guys on the far end of the table, and then his orcs up on the starting line, and just racing them to see if I could shoot them all before they got into combat with me. Uh, you can only do that so many times without getting bored. I never got bored, for the record. He did though. I used to be into the Horse Heresy game. Oh, really? Well, my friend bought me a Ghost Kill and Stealth team because he saw me eyeing them. It was over. Ah, yeah, yeah. My one of my other cousins loves Heresy. I got a lot of cousins. If you guys hadn't noticed, loves Heresy. He's really been into it. He hasn't been into the 40K stuff as much, but he still plays a bit. He loves the Blood Angels in the Horus Heresy, and I don't really know much about it, so I don't ever see myself getting into it, mostly because it sounds really expensive. Even if they don't give any love to the Vespids, I'm sure I will just proxy Vespids using the Harlequins kill team since, oh, they can all fly and are harder hitting. Oh, that's pretty cool. I hope you give them like Tau like banners maybe and like shoulder pads and different paraphernalia. That'd be pretty fun. Ah, the Ghost Heal, one of my absolute favorites. I always want to field 3, but I also don't want to be that guy with all the lone ops. Okay, okay. You can be that guy. It's not the end of the world. Just run it against orcs, world eaters, or custodes. I don't think I'm missing anybody else. Is there any other big melee? Nah, I think it's all the big melee guys. Just run it against somebody who doesn't care about shooting to begin with, so your lone op didn't matter at all. You know, it's easy to compensate. uh, spread Warhammer love to the family. Well, yeah, I literally got into the game and all my cousins followed suit. It was a fun time. And then my aunts and uncles were like, "Oh my gosh, what is it? My son likes Blood Angels? Hold on." This doesn't sound so good. I'm like, "Oh, relax, relax, relax. It's okay. It's okay." It's sci-fi. Yeah, it was rough explaining that. One of them, I'm pretty sure, is convinced I play with demons. So that is, yeah, love that aunt to death. Wonderful lady. Um, Three Ghost Guilds and Triptide is what I want. Oh dang! Shoot. Oh, I will just use Vesp models, but use Harlequin rules. Oh, that's funny. Three Ghost Guilds and Triptide. Dang man, knights. Like you mean like the big like model knights? Um, all you see the new Battle Sector game, aka 40K 4X plus XCOM. I don't know what that is. Problem is, I mostly play against Necron's Guard and Space Marines. Yeah. Sounds like you got some pretty tanky guys to deal with, and ones that just refuse to die. As a Tau player, we have range, but we have a whole army to focus on vehicles, stealth, crew, lone ops, scouts. Most of my army come next Saturday will be scout. Yeah, that's cool. I like to feel that we're a bit more mobile and dynamic, and like already in the mid board and messing with things before anyone else is really on at the battlefield. It feels like our sort of style. I'm guessing a big Mormon family. No, not a big Mormon family. Uh, a big Catholic family. So yeah, I will not diss on any other religion. Full disclosure, and Catholic. I love the faith, but I also love the hobby and the tabletop game. Um, not all of my other aunts share that sentiment. It's just that one, and she's a lovely lady. I pray for her every day. So wait till your aunt learns about world eaters. Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, we're just not gonna mention it. My pitch to my more religious family members that are worried about like the demons and the plastic is uh is just that it's like there's more nuance to it as far as just the philosophical and ideological things that go on. Oh yeah, no, there's no mentioning Drukari or Slanesh or any of the Chaos races. Yeah, no, we just don't talk about those. I in fact, like when I first got in, I was like, all right, I'm not a big fan of Chaos, but I reminded myself they're just plastic models. There was actually a horror story once at my game store. Before I showed up there, there was like this. It gave me an aversion to anyone who played Slaanesh perpetually, and still slightly does. No offense to anyone who plays Slaanesh, I'm sorry. But what happened was, like, the story of all the guys at the store were telling me, like, this one guy showed up one day with a Slaanesh army, and our game store, we're pretty good about being nice and friendly, and we're not uber competitive. Unless someone asks for a competitive game with somebody else, they won't be given one because it's just like typically, oh, like this our army, something fun and fluffy, and we'll get along pretty easy. But this one guy showed up and had this like complete purple outfit and like a weird looking guy. The lore says there was a weird stench about him, and his purple outfit matched his purple demons and all the stuff on the table and what that he was feeling. And there was this one of the guys at the store who's a really nice guy. I won't be disclosing names. Really nice guy had brought like a really nice fluffy list that he wanted to play, and so he displayed it out at the table. And I was like, "Hey man, like this is my list. I want to play against you." And yeah, weird stench or body spray. Weird stench, not body spray. He's one of those guys. So he's like, "Hey," and it's like, "Want to play?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, sure, I'll play." And and so the Slanesh player brings out this like complete tournament list to play against this guy with a nice fluffy list, and just grinds him into the ground and just completely destroys him. And all the other boys in the store look over and they're like, "Who is this? Who does this guy think he is?" And so they got their little powwow and talking and whatnot. The other guy's like bummed out because like he's a good sport, but he's so bummed because he got his army destroyed by turn three. And so one of the other guys, like one of the elders, I will say, who's been in the hobby a long time, has got like 80 armies. You know who I'm talking about? One of the guys, probably one of the better painters, knows the lore, knows the rules like that. He comes out and he's like, "All right." He pulls the guy who just got beat up off to the side. He's like, "Hey, I'm going to play a game against him." And at this point in time, apparently, Blood Angels were all the rage, and and they were gonna and they had some ridiculous strats with the Sanguinary Guard and like the Terminators. And so he was like, "Okay, you want to play like this in here? We'll play like this in here." Pulls out his army, like pulls out the most cheesy list he could find, and they play a game. And he moves. This guy moves all like the Keeper of Secrets up in the middle board, and the Sanguinary Guard clash into him. He drops his Terminators in the back, minces everything up, destroys him, completely, utterly destroys this guy in the game. And then the guy's ticked, coping, and seething. It's like, all right, rematch. We got it. So they run it back. Same thing happens over again, except the Terminators hit the demons in the midboard and the Sanguinary Guard are running amok in his back lines. And needless to say, he banished him back to the warp from whence he came, and he never came back again. So from that, if I see people like I know now I'm that guy because I got a mask that matches my army a little bit. I will not be wearing this in public, FYI. But if I see people that are like little too matchy with their list and it's demons and it's a little they smell a little nurgly. I will have a natural aversion to them. I just not trusting. So yeah. Yeah, good good exorcism. Yeah, I literally blood angels came out and like just sprinkling like getting the holy blood on them. If any of you Catholics out there, you know, holy water splashing on people, just like So definitely one of my favorite stories. They told me that when I asked like how competitive it was, like at the store when I first showed up. Since the demon spawned back from the ritual they crawled out of, absolutely. And he was a bad sport. He was a jerk too, apparently. So, like, I'm happy. Like I don't know what your guys' game store experiences are, but I'm happy with mine. Like it's a really good community of guys. They know where one of the other competitive stores are in the area. It's like, yeah, if you want a competitive game, you can go out there. But we've all like tried our hand out there before, and everyone's pretty cutthroat, and we're not really into that. Yeah, cosplay plus pot belly plus farts. Yes, yes, that is Nurgle. Nurgle cosplay, pot belly plus farts. I hope no one cosplays in a holy water. You mean a shower? Yes, yes. Both are unknown to this man, I assume. So, yeah. I luckily have not ever ran into anyone like that. So all my gaming experiences have been fairly good. Um, so I can't really complain. I actually had never been into a Warhammer 40K official store yet. I'd heard horror stories of like pressing guys that were like salesmen trying to get you to buy all the things. But I was like, yeah, I don't think I've never had experience. I went to the game store with my cousin, if you could tell from the second battle report I did. And I was at one, and like everyone was really chill. So I'm like really surprised and happy. Toxic people do be a part of this hobby mentally and physically. Yeah, it's the occultist boys. He hardly showers. Yeah, it's a shame. Turn him from a great unclean one into a greater clean one. Yeah, the issue was he's Slanesh, so I'm sure there's some dirty jokes that you could pull out there about that. So yeah, everyone I played has been a joy though. I can't stand any of the toxicity or like the I like being competitive, but like that's I know some good people who don't smell the best, but are fun to play against. Yeah. There's people like that at the store too. The only reason I mentioned the stench is because he was just a bad personality. That's why. It wasn't necessarily the physical state of him. It was like the vibe he gave off. You know what I mean? So I like the competitive aspect of it in some, bits, but on the whole, I'd rather play a nice person who smells than someone, yeah, smell like a field and act like toxic waste. Yeah, so true, so true. Great way to claim objective and block is use 2 to 3 piranhas. They have a great scout. Oh, we're going back to the game. We're no longer dissing on this guy. This is probably not a good thing that we rip on this guy unbeknownst to him. I didn't even meet him, so, great scout, move along, and they can set up sideways 2 inches and claim and block, with 21 wounds, decent save. Yeah, dang. I don't own a piranha, so I don't really know. Cosplay to dress up with a hobo, but really nice. Um, I hear that, the one Australian guy really likes all the piranhas, the piranha spam, getting them out there, and he did some list where it was like his Fast and Furious piranha and tetra spam list. So that sounds pretty cool as far as like speedy fast Tau goes. So yeah, you have two seeker missiles each. Yeah, big seeker missile carriers too. The our anti tank is in very hidden places. It's very surprising. Need to finish my piranha. Yeah, I can't. I'd love to try there's so many different themed lists that I love to try out with Tau. I just don't have the time or money for. I have no Tetra or Piranhas, but they seem interesting. Yeah, if I do agree, they do seem very interesting. Do other people favor and follow Tau wisdom of the greater good? Do your best not to inconvenience others. See, I think the Tau players that I've met are the most friendly people I know. They're all really great guys. It was very unlikely even a melee unit to get through piranhas. Yeah, their toughness is pretty high. As far as their points to wounds ratio, it's also really good. I am also tempted to try lore accurate cadre formations. Yes, that's something I'd want to try. I don't know if I made a video some time ago, but it was about like expanding your list, and I pulled up like this cadre sheet, and it was like you got your commander, and you got his crisis suits that he escorts with, and then you got your Pathfinder squad, you got your fire warriors, you got like your broadsides, your hammerhead for some extra. It seems pretty dang good. Yeah, 55 points currently for one piranha. Yeah, and they have what like 7 wounds. Yeah, support cadre and storm surges plus. Um, yeah, I like the new Tesla replacement with the new Tesla. Hmm. So, the 7 wounds for 55 points with T7, and I think it might be a 4 up. I want to say it's a 3 up, but I think it's a 4 up save. That's pretty dang good. Like, you need some really tough things to get through all of that. So, yeah, definitely piranhas are really good. Fast and Furious, like, he means Tetris. Ah, Tetris, not Teslas. 2 to 3 piranhas and breachers. Yeah, that would make sense. Tesla replacement. Yeah, I know people that'll like. Okay, there's just one really cool kit bash I saw of a Piranha, and they made it look kind of like a plane. Instead of the wings being up front, the wings were in the back. So I like the proportions of that a little bit better. It looked pretty cool. I don't know if that really changed how you play like the game, or if it would really be cheating or not. They only got a 3D printer and has helped a lot with both time and money part of Warhammer. Yeah, I'm looking at those 3D printers these days, and I'm thinking a couple $100 for this, and I don't have to pay for all this 40K stuff anymore? Oh my goodness, that sounds wonderful. What are your thoughts on Skyrays? Skyrays, okay. Skyrays are our anti-tank. I know I made the video about railguns being the anti-tank. Skyrays, phenomenal. They just got twin linked, so strength 14, twin linked. No reason why they should flop at all. I think that they're definitely gonna be really good anti-tank for us as far as shooting out. Like they seem like I put this. A lot of the units that aren't going to benefit too much from the different, like the retaliation cadre or the Mont'ka or Cayenne too much that have a lot of high strength and abilities and might die earlier on. A lot of those guys seem like they fit very well into the crew detachment because like they're strong units on their own, whereas the other units get buffed up pretty heavily from the different detachments you can use. And Skyrays seem like to be like one of those units, one of those very good, nice standalone, able to do a lot of damage units. I plan on asking my friend to resin print me Avara and Yavara. Oh my gosh, that sounds awesome. I love the Yavara as far as like a unit, like the big jetpack and the huge flamer to scorch through everybody in the battlesuit detachment. Perfect. I haven't seen an Arvana in a long time in a battle report. Um, I think the model looks great, looks sick, but I don't really know if they're that good this edition, and anyone really wants to bring them. Umbalab P1P is the printer I use. Gosh, I'm gonna keep that in mind. Logged away. Breaches are always good, but I prefer to use them late, so I move the Devilfish over to the objective and not deploy them. Ah, yes, if they destroy the Devilfish, they disembark out, you win the objective. True, true, true. You turn your turn, you can destroy units with breaches. Yeah, yeah. I don't understand this. I've seen so many games with people moving their devilfish up with no one in the general vicinity and getting their breachers out. Like I've seen Tau Nick do this so much from Play On, and I'm looking at him like, dude, why are you putting your breachers out in the open? Like, what's the point of this? Like, you're just gonna get wasted. Like, keep them in the transport for a little bit at least. Come on. So I don't know. It might just be me or just the people I'm watching, but it seems a little odd. You can one interesting fact about both Arvars and Yavars is that they are Riptide variants. Yes, they are Riptide variants. So you could, I'm just thinking, Triptide is pretty cheap. They're like what, 165 points right now? That makes it so that you can take three for about like what, 500 points. If the Yavars and Arvaras are the same, you can like what, Triptide, then trip the Arvara, then trip the Yavaras, and just have big Riptide army. Oh no, Riptide spam. That sounds fun. Anyways, I'm sorry, I'm getting off topic. um, have you ever played any Crusade or something more fluffy than competitive? Sort of, yeah. I was in a Crusade once, uh, but I didn't get to play too much because school got in the way, so I fell behind in the Crusade. Otherwise, my cousin and I will do like narrative reports of like we'll have a story progress throughout our battles that we have, and it usually involves the Blood Angels butchering all the Tau, which he really enjoys. And I then like if any of my units survive or like if it kills Farsight and Anva, but Anshi lived, I'll give like Anshi like two bodyguards that are like Farsight bodyguards to make it so that he can have a little bit more melee play. That would be fun against him. So yeah, like I usually find myself making up rules with him just to keep the game entertaining and interesting. I wish I could do more fluffy things instead of competitive. So, actually, I was thinking about doing that, like making a narrative, like with my cousin, as far as like something that perpetually goes through. We could heck like do a crusade, and if you guys want, you could be like, oh, like help me build the list for it, and then we could build a storyline, and then have it be a fun story that we follow through battle reports. So that I think that could be something fun to go along with the battle reports because I loved like mini wargaming. Those guys. For I like their little crusade things, like where they have one available and one for members only. I probably won't do that. We'll see. And it's just a crusade of like a progress like that. I'd be down to totally do that because I feel as though I enjoy those a bit more. Because like, oh my gosh, I wonder like where the story is going to go next. It's so much more interesting. My so you could have a total of 9 riptides on the battlefield if you wanted. Yeah, 9 riptides. That'd be insane. That'd be so much fun. My wallet waits for the day when GW drops models for the 8. That's something I'm wondering. Because I think you could currently build the 8 with crisis suits and the enforcer and the riptide and the broadside, but I wouldn't be surprised if they gave them their own custom little feel and spin, which would be pretty cool. Make them look kind of farsighty with their new anythings. So I think I'm going to call it in about a minute because we've been at this for 2 hours. So it's been fun, but I think the girlfriend wants to say hello for some time of the evening. It is Saturday after all. I've written lore in the past and contained them in a giant narrative. Oh, that's awesome! I I need to get into writing lore and the like. So much fun. Um, Now, since you mentioned it, I am got heard that Anshi is gone, especially since he is an epic hero and could lead Kroot fall. Yeah, but huge release Kroot. Just yeah, imagine that having a 20-man Kroot blob, 3 OC apiece. That sounds awesome. Besides, and like him being like a melee master in it, and Kroot can have two like leaders attached to him, giving them the like the feel no pain on top of it. Like it just could have been so cool. Could have been so cool, but c'est la vie. It'll never be. Uh, never be cool. Something different from all the competitive channels. Yeah. So in that case, I think we'll start a narrative as soon as I can. All we need are Vespids. They are the real workhorse for any army. Technically, you could use the 8 with the Retaliation Cadre, 6 Crisis Suits, 2 times 3, 1 Riptide, 1 Broadside. Yeah, but you couldn't get them the right weapon loadout, though, which is kind of sad. What would be interesting is if the Riptide one of the 8 would be a character, and then you could have 10 Riptides on the battlefield total. That's funny. So, so for those who don't know, I'm currently in a classroom, so people might walk in and out and whatnot. That'd be so funny. 10 reptiles on the battlefield. Thanks for streaming. Looking forward to future content. Sure thing. I'm happy to do it and get all this stuff out. Honestly, Blood Axes could be auxiliary due to them being a mercenary faction. Aren't the Blood Axes orcs? Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, great first stream. Have a good rest of your day. Thanks, you too. Yeah. I should also be going to sleep. It's 2 a.m. around. Oh no, no. We're gonna find a different time to stream where not everyone isn't staying up till midnight or like 2 in the morning. Like we gotta fix this. We gotta fix this, guys. Oh goodness. Anyways, it's been fun. Thank you all for joining. Um, I don't know if you want, we could do a stream once a week or something interesting like that. But Praxis are orcs, but they are work for the ice beater. You know, yeah, and I'm willing to bet the Tau have some flashy things that they'd like to have too. One day or night to you all. All right, everybody, it's been fun. I've enjoyed it. It's been nice just shooting the breeze and just saying things and going about whatever. If you guys want another stream in the future, oh, mainly consists of Fandos. Anyways, if you want another stream in the future, let me know. Like it, share it, whatever the heck. Do all the YouTube things, and we can have some more nice, fun, fluffy towness later on. So I hope your days, or I suppose nights or evenings or mornings, whatever the heck it is this time, go for the greater good. And yes, good night. I'll be getting out more streams. Don't y'all worry. Anyways, I just ruined my closing. Hope your night goes for the greater good. Good night, everybody.